tried to do this video earlier. Anyway, then I got a phone call and blah, blah, blah. So here I go again. I'll get through it now, and I appreciate you keeping an eye on me. I wanted to discuss this motion that I got from St. Luke's. They filed with the court, and it's an emergency ex parte motion regarding examination of Ammon Bundy. And it was 85 pages long. And the crazy thing about this is that they're saying all kinds of crazy stuff. Now, 85 pages, and basically they just didn't like that I did a video 2 days ago discussing the updates on everything that was going on with my case, how they denied the discharge. I talked about Meridian Police hiding exculpatory evidence, about videos and emails about what was going on with baby Cyrus. I talked about Sergeant McGilvery, who was in charge of the operation, pleading guilty to choking a female officer. And I talked about the details of the bankruptcy case and how they're again not going to discharge the debt. How St. Luke's filed for my family not to be able to keep anything, even the clothes on her back. And St. Luke's doesn't want this to get out, because every time I express to the public of what's going on, they file and run to the court to try to silence me. Now, let me read you some of this ex parte, which basically ex parte means they want a meeting with the judge without me. That's what that means. It says this motion, meaning their motion, is based on the grounds that Mr. Bundy advertised that he intends to post a public link to the virtual deposition to his online, unknown, and numerous followers. The court should enter an order limiting attendance to Mr. Bundy's examination. That's talking about my deposition examination tomorrow. They go on. On or about February 23rd, 2024, Mr. Bundy posted a video. So this was 2 days ago. Mr. Bundy posted a video full of misrepresentations targeting St. Luke's and its CEO on the Ammon Bundy YouTube account. The video posts served to harass the St. Luke's creditors by feeding misinformation to Mr. Bundy's followers, who in turn are intended to spread Mr. Bundy's defamatory statements to harm St. Luke's creditors. So they're saying the reason I did the video the other day was basically to harass and to harm and to spread misinformation. You've heard that term, right? Misinformation. They use that loosely. And to spread this information. Now, I challenge or recommend anybody to go watch the video, and I'll link it in the comments of this video so that you can determine for yourself. Now, I will say this, I have all along believed that sunlight is the best disinfectant, that everything should be shown to the public openly, and the people individually can decide for themselves. But St. Luke's has wanted to keep this entire thing in the dark, trying to stop me. Every time I say something, they run to the court and try to get a protective order, or they say that I'm violating a previous protective order, or they're saying, like in this case, that the whole reason why I did the video was to serve as harassment to St. Luke's creditors. And they just do not want me to tell you, the people, of what they're doing. They don't want that out there. They go on in this motion. Mr. Bundy intends to distribute the examination by inviting his followers to attend and participate in the virtual examination. Mr. Bundy, so let me just stop there. So again, they do not want this examination that they're going to put me through tomorrow. They do not want that shown to the public. They want it to be only available to them and to the court and not to the public. And to me, I'm like, I mean, if you're not hiding anything, if you're not abusing me, if you're not doing everything that you're doing to try to hurt me and my family, then why would you be afraid of showing it to the public? And if I'm hiding things and I'm spreading misinformation, and if I'm being so evil, then, why wouldn't you want the public to see me do this? Why wouldn't you want this examination to be public? It doesn't make sense. And there's a few other things that are, that I'll point out that don't make sense. They go on. Mr. Bundy has promised his followers that he will make public the link to the video examination so that they can join the video conference. So first of all, I never made that promise, and I'll show you here. That's a lie, or at least a misrepresentation, or maybe they took it a way that that I didn't intend. But they go on. This kind of explains it. Mr. Bundy at Ammon Bundy YouTube account contains the following exchange between Mr. Bundy and one of his followers. Mr. Bundy's follower asked, "Can people come and watch the devil work?" So that was a comment on the YouTube page. And I responded and says, "It will be recorded by Zoom, so I'll post a link." It will be recorded by Zoom, so I'll post a link. Okay. A far cry from what they are claiming I'm planning on doing. Now, this goes on. It says, and I'm just reading you their motion, so they'll claim that this is misinformation. And they'll probably file at the court, try to get a protective order, so I can't share any of the information in the deposition. I wouldn't be surprised. Or they'll say that I'm violating a protective order or something and try to find me in contempt because of this. Anyway, they go on. They say, St. Luke's creditors fear that opening the examination to these anonymous individuals would not only be disruptive, but potentially dangerous to the St. Luke's creditors, their counsel, or the reporters. And for those reasons, the examination should be restricted to Mr. Bundy and his counsel, the reporter, and the St. Luke's creditors and their attorneys, period. So they don't want anybody to be part of it. Now, think about how ridiculous this is. They actually said that, let me just say that in their own words, St. Luke's creditors fear that opening the examination to these anonymous individuals would not only be disruptive, but potentially dangerous. Okay, let me just take that first part. Anybody who's been on a Zoom meeting, which is a lot of people now since COVID, because the whole world went to online meetings, right? Anybody, including the court, this is so ridiculous. It's just asinine. Anybody knows that the host gets to decide, control who enters the meeting, who gets to speak, who's on mute, and St. Luke's is the host. So they're going to be able to mute everybody. They're going to be able to even allow or not allow people to come on to the meeting. And for them to cry to the court that somehow people coming on to this meeting to watch and to view are going to be disruptive when they could have everybody muted all the time, or not even allow them on the meeting in the first place. For them to cry to the court, see, it's just a show. They're just trying to make it look like I'm somebody and the people who are watching are somebody bad and nefarious. Because the reality is that's who they are. And they want to hurt and harm in secret where no one is watching. So they want to make sure that no one can be viewing this while they're doing it. Anyway, it goes on, and for those reasons, the examination should be restricted to Mr. Bundy and his counsel. And then they say, St. Luke's creditors likewise ask that the virtual examination of Lisa Bundy be likewise restricted to Mrs. Bundy and her counsel, to Mr. Bundy, the reporter, and the St. Luke's creditors and their attorneys. So they just want it to be quiet. Anyway, I read this directly from their own motion. It's 85 pages with the exhibits. It was filed today with the court as an emergency ex parte motion, trying to get the court to, follow their narrative that we're scary and somehow they're the saints, and to stop people from actually seeing what's going on. So anyway, I wanted to explain that to you. I'm going to try to be more open. I get to where I just, wonder if it's worth trying to explain these things to people. But I do believe that there's safety in the sunlight, and I believe that the sunlight is the best disinfectant. And so I share these things with you and hope you pay attention. This examination will go on. I will make it public unless the court doesn't allow me to, just so that you can see for yourself what's going on. And they're wanting it to be all day long, and I don't really have the ability to let them do that all day long. So I've given them 4 hours from 9 to 1. And anyway, thank you for caring enough to keep an eye on me and to just know what's going on. Thank you.